So this time we are speaking to Stuart Clark. Stuart, would you like to introduce yourself and tell us about your business?
Sure, Richard. So my name's Stuart Clark and I'm the Chief Operations Officer of a company called MIT Benefits. MIT Benefits are an employee engagement company. We specialise in helping businesses retain and attract the best personnel and employees that they possibly can. And part of that service is to deliver payroll and pensions administration services to those clients, which is why we needed the services of Richard here and some Excel spreadsheets.
Well, that brings me on to my next question. So what actually made you, what made you come to me for a spreadsheet in the first place?
Well, actually, it was one of our new clients who first put us on to you rather indirectly. The client had a rather diverse, I think, time and attendance or holiday system, and he needed an output from that system to work with our payroll software. And that's fine. You know, we worked with the client. We got that through, and you were the third party in the background, Richard. But then I started doing some business improvement work within the business here, and I was looking at a lot of the payroll work, the Excel spreadsheets and things like that we did, and I thought there might be a better way for us to do it. I remembered the great work that you did for the client, and I thought, yeah, I know someone. Let's give Richard a call. Let's see if he can help us out. So it was indirectly, but it was, if you like, word of mouth. And through another client of yours and a mutual client of ours that I came to you.
So now I've made a number of spreadsheets for you, and they're all different, but they're all fairly similar in what they're trying to achieve. Do you just want to talk us through what those spreadsheets do?
Sure, absolutely. So we use Sage software to process our payroll. And when you have something like, I think we have around 50 clients just now who send us data, and that data comes in all different shapes and sizes. Some of the data for some of the clients, there's maybe 10 employees, right up to the largest one that I think you did for us, Richard, was about 2,000 employees. Yeah, so the data comes in, different spreadsheets. What our guys here were trying to do was to manipulate all that data into one upload CSV file to upload directly into Sage, to save them doing numerous pivot tables, numerous VLOOKUPs, and it was really what I call a clunky operation. It was just some of it, some of it I think we counted there was 26 steps in the process from us receiving the data from the client to having the CSV ready to upload into Sage, which for me was just ridiculous. So although all your spreadsheets are different, they are very similar in a way because they all do the same thing. So we import the data that the client sends us. You have a middle way of some skill of manipulating that data to output into a different tab exactly what we need for our client's payroll to be uploaded into Sage. And what that does for us is not only saves time, it reduces the risk of error. It means that we can get people paid hopefully quicker because we're not spending X amount of hours all the time having to do this manual work. And actually, the guys who process the payroll here see it as a fantastic step forward, because I think there's always a bit of a concern around this black art in Excel. People always think about just, Excel's about VLOOKUPs, Excel's about pivot tables, Excel's about forecasts and financial information, where not one of the spreadsheets you did for us was about financial information. It was taking lumps of data, all different types of data, and then outputting it into one consistent file for all of our clients. It's worked fantastically for us. We have saved so far, now I know that we're still working with you on some more, but so far we have saved 1,500 processing hours per year of time and resource, which has got a big cost to it, that we have saved that by using your spreadsheets to manipulate that data for us, which is just absolutely fantastic. I'm delighted, the business is delighted, the guys who are using the spreadsheets are delighted.
Well, because I was going to ask you how my spreadsheets have helped, but you've already covered that. So, I mean,
Yeah.
Because the other thing I remember as well, which I think could have played a huge part in this, was actually I did a lot of I don't know what the right word to be used. I did a lot of formulas in order to check for errors and to check for potential mistakes. Because I think with one of the things I noticed with you, with what you guys are doing, if your client had put something in the wrong place, the pivot tables would have just missed it, and it could have just fallen through the cracks. And actually, a lot of what I was doing was actually checking the client's data to make sure they put things in the right place.
That's
and
right.
flag up things that didn't look correct, because that could have been a disaster if it had not gone right.
Absolutely, because when the data comes in, when you run a payroll, you have so many different pay elements to pay against. The biggest one that we had at the 2,000 employee payroll that you made the spreadsheet for us, from memory, that's something like 8,000 or 9,000 different pay elements, and those pay elements were based on what site the employee had been working at that day or that half day or that hour, if that employee was due, standard time or time and a half overtime or double time overtime. And clients do make mistakes sometimes. So what we were doing is effectively picking up on, as you say, on a pivot table. If the pivot table missed it, we missed it, so we would process the payroll, send it to the client. Sometimes the client might miss it, send it back to us as approved, and then the employee is paid incorrectly, which no one wants. So the double check that you put in place, that you built into the spreadsheet, gave us the confidence that we were catching everything there and then, that the output file that we were getting did not have any errors in it. That then gave the confidence to the client that they were not going to receive calls from disgruntled employees because they hadn't been paid correctly. And again, it saves us time, it saves the client's time, and people are paid correctly. And this is all what this boils down to from you, I think, is the what we are able to do is have the absolute confidence that our accuracy is top notch. Really is top notch. Saves amount of manual input, saves an amount of manual checking, and just drives through fantastic efficiencies within our business.
Well, assuming that you would recommend me to others, and why would you do so? What would you say to someone if they said, should we use Richard's spreadsheets?
Well, I didn't go out and find you, right? Which was great, right? We had you in the background there, as I mentioned earlier, from the previous client. But what I've seen is, you're always there, okay? If someone needs you, you're available for them. You give the 45 minutes free of charge to understand the spreadsheet, often going over that, thank you. But you really delve in and question what it is that we're doing just now, what it is we're actually trying to achieve, and the solutioning that you do from that initial call with you really helps, I think, from a personal perspective, me understand what we're doing, and if there's something else that we can achieve, and to see what the output can be and how much time it can save us. So from the initial setting up a calendar invite with you, to having that conversation with you, to you then going away and coming back incredibly quickly with a first solution, and then making any changes that we think are necessary, or anything at all like that. The whole speed of the process was fantastic, and the cost is fantastic as well, because for me to save 1,500 hours versus the cost that I've paid to you has just been absolutely brilliant. It really has, and we wouldn't go anywhere else.
I'm glad to hear that. So Stuart, thank you very much for chatting to me. I really appreciate it.
No problem. Anytime, Richard. Thank you. Have a great day.